and you're welcome to today's session. Today, we're going to be looking at what is called what if analysis in Excel. If you're in Excel, go to Data tab and go to the right hand side. You're going to see something here called what if analysis, especially where my cursor is pointed. Now, what if analysis come in three different parts. We have the scenario manager, we have the goal seek, and we have data tables. So let's see if we'll be able to establish or be able to do the three at the same time. So um, the scenario manager actually allows us to be able to create different scenarios and then look at the outcomes. And maybe if one of the outcome is good, then we can pick that one based on the data point that we have provided. I'm going to do that. We also have the goal seek where we have our outcome, but we don't know what input can give us the outcome. So we decide the input. And then the data tables is when we are able to have at least uh, like what is it? A two-way table. We have quantities in one side and we have price on the other side. It could also be different quantities on the column and then one on the rows and then in that order. So let's try maybe I just want to go to maybe a new sheet and then let's maybe put something here. I'm going to or maybe for the sake of time, so let me explain. I have here prices. On top here, I have prices. So I'm going to come to this point, and then give it a border and of course hide all the everything that you see there. So I have price here and then quantity of items. I have total revenue, and my total revenue basically is the unit price times the quantity. That will give me my total revenue, which is down there. Let me increase the font size a little bit. So the unit price is 32 Ghana cedis. Then quantity is 100. Then total revenue is 100 times the unit price. And then that will give us this. And so the total revenue, I'm going to give it this color. Now, transport cost is 10% of the total revenue. So we are going to have 10% of the total revenue. And then we have the item cost. The item cost, as you can see in the formula on top there, is actually 20 Ghana cedis. And then maybe the 20 Ghana cedis times D3. Where's my D3? That's the quantity. So it means each costs 20 Ghana cedis and the price we are selling is 32. So to get the item cost, total item costs, then we have to multiply the 20 Ghana cedis for the cost of each by the total, which is the quantity. Then, and that gives us 2,000. Then total costs is the transport cost plus the item cost. In some cases, you see operational cost and then other things. Then that will give us our total cost. Now, for us to be able to get our profit, then we need to subtract the total cost from the total revenue, and then in that order. So now, I want to highlight, for now, I want to highlight all the cells that you can see them in yellow, and then leave the ones that are not in yellow. And I'm going to explain something. In goal seek analysis, there are about three principles that you need to know. One, but let me do one first so you understand what I mean. So let us assume that we want to raise our profit up to about 1,000 Ghana cedis. So what are we going to change? So in our input here, what is going to change? Which particular value is going to change? So our target cell is this. So let me give it maybe a different color, a little bit, and then yeah. So let's see, you go to your goal seek. So you click on the data tab, come to what if analysis, come to goal seek, and then you realize that goal seek is going to ask you this small pop-up wizard is going to appear. And you see set cell. Which particular cell are we going to set? The cell that contains the value that we want to change. And this is the profit that we want to change. We want to raise it to 1,000 Ghana cedis. So I'll click that. So, and that particular cell is D8. I see D here and then 8 over there. So that's it. So we have, so while my cursor is blinking, I'll come and type the D8, but the D is locked. It's understandable. Now, to what value? So if we want to change the profit to what value? The value is our main objective. So we want to say we want to raise it to 1,000 Ghana cedis. So by changing cell, by changing which particular value, this is why I want to explain. In goal seek, so let's say by changing the quantity. So now when we click here, it should be able to tell us how much quantity we can sell at the going price in order to get the 1,000 Ghana cedi profit that we're expecting. Our current profit is 880 Ghana cedis. We want to raise it to 1,000 Ghana cedis. You see, so we are saying that how many quantity can we sell in order to make that? That becomes goal seek. So I'll click on that. And so goal seek is telling us that we can sell up to 113.63, and then we can round it up to 114 in order to make 1,000 Ghana cedis profit. All right. If we accept this kind of changes, then we click OK. Other than that, I can click cancel and come back to where we were. Now, the second part, click on goal seek, come here, and then always remove whatever that is there. Set cell. This time around, what cell are we changing? We are going to the same profit, and then to what value? Let's say to the same 1,000 Ghana cedis. By changing which cell? This time around, we want to maintain the same quantity, 100 items. But so it means the only variable we can change, or the only value we can change, is the price. So by changing the price, so it means we are looking for the total or the price that we can sell with the 100 quantity of item that we have to be able to make a profit of 1,000 Ghana cedis. So that's what is here. Then I'll click on this, and then you see that we need to sell 33 Ghana cedis, 33 pesos, in order for the 100, in order to make 1,000 Ghana cedis profit for the 100 quantity of items. So if we agree, you click OK. Other than that, you click then this. Now, here is what I want you to pay attention. In goal seek analysis, one thing you need to know is that you cannot, the set cell, the cell that you are setting, it must be a cell that you use a formula to calculate it. That's one principle you need to know. If I am setting this particular cell, you should know that that particular cell, it was a formula I used to obtain it. If I am setting this particular cell, it was a formula I used to obtain it. That is why I highlighted all of them. It means that the cells that we can set are cells that we use a formula to calculate. You cannot set a cell which contains just a value, like the price and the quantity. We did not use any formula or any function to be able to calculate them. There was no mathematical manipulation over there. That's one principle. That's the setting of the cell. It must be a cell that formula was used to be able to get that value. Now, you are changing it to what value? That part, you don't even, that one is your goal. So you just type the figure over there. By changing what particular value? So the value you are going to change, also pay attention to this. That's the second principle. The value that you are going to change in order to get to your objective value, or the cell you are going to change, must be a cell that doesn't have a formula. You see that it's direct opposite to the first one. So if you check, price doesn't have a formula, quantity doesn't have a formula. So those are the two cells that we can change. We cannot select any cell here that a formula was used. For instance, if I select this cell and I click OK, check, you see that cell must contain a value. You see, it cannot work that way. So it must contain a value, not a formula. On the other way around, if let's say I put this, so that contains a value. And the first one, for instance, if I had also chosen, let's say 100, and then I click on OK, you will also see a cell must contain a formula. So pay attention to how these things work, and then in that order. So here the set cell must contain a formula, and so this is the formula. And then the formula must, this is how it's supposed to be. That way, by changing which cell, we can say D something and whatsoever, and then we are good to go. If I click on that, then you see that it's going to tell me the same thing I have calculated. Now, mind you, you can change any of this. Let us assume that you want to change, you want to use goal-seek to see that with the price and the quantity of items. If my purpose is just to look at the revenue, I can just say, okay, so if I want to raise the revenue up to, let's say, 30 or 42 Ghana cedis, 4,200 cedis. So what should be? That should be my target cell. So I'm going to come down there and click on my set cell to the revenue, and then changing it to what value? Currently is 4200. So sorry, 3200. I'm changing it to 4200. And then by changing what? I've already mentioned that the only cells you can change are either the price or the quantity. So let's say by changing the quantity. And so how many quantity can we sell in order to raise the revenue up to 4,200 Ghana cedis from the current 3,200? So it tells us that we can sell about 131, approximately 131. And then that is what is going to give us this amount. And so this is how goal-seek works. And I hope this is quite clear. So you can try it with other things. It's not only in this, whatever that you have. Let's assume that you have, maybe you are selling maybe some mobile phones. So I'm going to, and then let's say you are selling some mobile phones, and check the unit price. Then we have the unit price, that's 2,000, items 10, total revenue this, cost price this, total cost is this, and then profit this. So if you have something like this as it's the same thing as what we have on top there. You can change your total revenue, you can change your cost, you can check how to be able to reduce costs, and then you can also check, you can change any of them, and then you are good to go. So basically, wherever you want to perform any mathematical, it's just like I have, let's say, 12 items here, and then I also have a unit price of 2 Ghana cedis. And then if I come to that particular place, I can simply say this multiplied by this, and then that should give me 24. But let's assume that I want to raise this 24 up to, let's say, 60. So I can either change the value here or change the value over there. I can change this value and this value. So this will be my set cell. I can just go to my data tab, come to what if analysis, click on goal-seek, and then my set cell will be the one that has the formula. To what value? I'm saying that I want it to be 60. By changing, I could say by changing this particular value here, whatever value it is, it could be item, it could be price, whatsoever, then I'll just click inside. So it tells me that if I have 12 and I want 60, then the items here should be 5. And if I like, I click OK, and then that is fine. So basically, this is how GoSeek works. And I hope this helps you to be able to know the combination of input that you can in order to be able to get your output, or in order to determine your output. GoSeek is very important. It helps. But there's one question that is unanswered here. Let's assume that, or maybe I should end this video now and then do another one so that it doesn't become too long like that.